Hey, what's up guys? In this video we will be talking about a winter storm out in the west, a potential winter storm for the northeast, another potential winter storm for the northern plains, as well as the potential for severe weather early next week in the Great Plains as well as the southeast. So without any further ado, let's get right into this Apollo weather forecast. It refreshed my map on me, so that's a little anticlimactic. Alright, there we go. So first, we're going to talk about the forecasted high temperatures of the day. So again, for the plains, pretty widespread 70s to 80s. For the southeast, you're looking at about low to mid 70s. Florida, you're talking high 70s to low 80s. Carolinas, you're in the 60s, 50s. Up in the northeast, you're a little bit warmer today than you have been for the past few days here, in the mid 40s. Northern plains, you're talking low 20s. Northwest, mid 30s. West coast, 50s, 40s. And in the southwest, anywhere from 40s to 70s, depending on how far south you are. So that is your forecasted highs for the day. So now we're going to take a look here at the southeast. We're going to do our normal looking out 48 hours, and then at the end of the video we'll talk about our severe weather threat and potential snowstorm. Alright, so first we're going to look here. Looks like just rain for Florida today. However, they do have a risk. I just skipped right over it by accident, immediately closed it out. There is a risk of just general thunderstorms down here today, according to the Storm Prediction Center, as you can see right here. So no snow, obviously, really expected down here. So if we look here at simulated effectivity, this is what those storms could look like. You can see them kind of bubbling up here. Nothing severe expected out of this, although there's maybe a chance of hail in this. But it would most likely remain under severe limits, and you see more storms pop up. But that's about it for the southeast in general. You get maybe some pop-up showers here into Louisiana and Mississippi, but maybe they don't even seem to last very long. I don't know what my PC's doing today. It's closing me out of all my tabs. There we go. So if we take a look here at the northeast, you can see you got some rain here, maybe some ice on the back end of this trying to build in. Ice, some light snow. But for the most part though, and that could just be a blimp. But it should be just rain today. Not really a whole lot going on there. Alright, so now for the southern Great Plains. Let's take this out here. Again, panhandle of Texas desperately needs the rain, and it just doesn't really look like they're going to get much. Maybe some spotty rain showers here across, again, portions of Louisiana and Mississippi. Maybe some in Alabama. Some showers here in the southern parts of Texas, which don't need the rain quite as bad as the panhandle right now. I don't think anywhere in the country needs rain more than the Texas panhandle does at this particular moment. Alright, so here we're going to be looking at the central U.S. You can see you got some snow building in here. And it just starts to blast south. But then it stalls out right here. Maybe some ice here, snow there. Moderate to heavy snow for portions of western Colorado into Wyoming. In fact, no. Alright. So now for the Midwest here. We will take a look again. Just not a lot going on. Just again, maybe some spotty showers. They'd be scattered, but overall, not a lot going on. It's quiet for right now. So now if we take a look at the northern Great Plains here, you can see here's some snow, like decent amount of snow building in here as well. Maybe some ice building in with some heavy snow as well. And then that moves on the north end of Canada and out of the way. Alright, here if we take a look at the northwest again, getting hammered with snow right now. You can just see all that snow just piling in. Absolutely just getting a bunch of snow there still. And now if we take a look here at the western US, you got that heavy snow in the mountains of California, into Nevada. Much of the state of Nevada is seeing snow right now, and we'll continue to see snow look at this for at least the next 24 hours, maybe even a little bit more than that. The same thing with California. However, the snow does finally start to taper off, but then you get more periodic periods of heavy snow still. So it's not going away quite yet, but once you start getting about 48 hours out, 46 to 48 hours out, that snow really starts to taper off. And should be done hopefully soon. Now if we take a look here at the southwest, you can see that snow might trying to start making its way a little bit south here. And indeed it does. But again, it kind of just stalls out. We looked at this when we were looking at the central US. Stalls out over here. Obviously still in California. But Arizona, New Mexico, you're pretty dry for the most part, it looks like. Not really much going on. So now if we do actually go ahead and take a look here, this is the European model. If we go ahead and take a look at the expected snowfall over the next 48 hours, just want to make a point here that I do not like to look at snowfall amounts until it's 48 hours out. So within 48 hours I'll look at it. I don't like to look at them or show them. I might look at them, but I don't like showing them until 48 hours out, because so much can change even within that 48 hours. But if you start looking at snowfall before 48 hours, there's no reason for the hype like that, because it could show, feet of snow a week out, but then 48 hours out may not even see snow at all. That being said, I might still show, hey, there's signals for a snowstorm, as I'm actually about to do here when I'm done talking about this. But yeah, just when I get that out of the way, I don't like to show snowfall amounts until we're in that 48-hour range. But even then, I'll still use the European model to show that. But anyway, so here's the snowfall expected to fall in California over the next 48 hours here. You can see, again, 28 inches. So another 25 to 45 inches may potentially fall here before California is mostly done getting the snowfall. Another foot here, and again another 7 inches to maybe a foot of snow. Along the coast here really gets just hammered with snow. Here in Nevada, places can pick up another 5 to 8, maybe 10 in some spots. Pretty widespread area in the west here of 5 to 6 inches. And even potentially, again, other areas going to pick up a foot. Potentially, areas here in Colorado could pick up another 7 inches to a foot of snow. Just a lot of snow, still to come over the next 48 hours for those areas out west. It's something we will continue to talk about at least in tomorrow's video, and maybe even the video after that, before hopefully they're done with some snow for a while. Alright, so now speaking of snow, we are going to go ahead and look here at the potential of a snowstorm. I did have this sent out, but again, for some reason my PC today is being a little bit wonky. It's not wanting to do what I want it to do, so let me go. There we go. Okay, so you can see here that snowstorm in the northern plains. And you can see that area of low pressure down in South Dakota, and you got snow to heavy snow in areas of North Dakota. If you follow that out, that does make it to Canada, so it might be a very quick hitter. Then we have the potential for some severe weather down south. You can see storms try to fire off right about 18Z, which is about 11 in the morning. And this is 6 p.m. This is why I don't like using the European model for severe weather, and this is why I'm going to switch for you guys here in a minute. But boom, if you take it here, this is pretty far out now. This is about 145 hours out, so 146 hours out. You can see the area of low pressure off the east coast there, and you got heavy snow, moderate snow here for portions of the northeast, with potential thunderstorms on the side of it, on the back side of this. So you could see thundersnow potentially in areas of the northeast. You take this up, it just gets, there's a low pressure 999 millibars, so it does drop, and then potentially very heavy snow here in areas of the northeast. And it finally does move on out of here on Saturday morning here on the night of the 9th. Again, I'm not going to show any forecasted totals from this, because especially being that's foul, but we are outside the 48 hours. I like to show that. So if this is still there, and this is a big reason too, if this is still there when we get within 48 hours, I will take it more seriously. But I'm not going to show snowfall totals and then nothing end up happening out of it. So if this is still here, we will continue to watch it. If this is still here within the next 48, within the last 48 hours before the event is supposed to hit, which would put us right about Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. Yeah, I'd say Wednesday. So if this is still here Wednesday, then I will start showing snowfall totals, but not until then. So the last thing we do have to look at here, and this is my favorite parts of these videos. I assume a lot of you guys are here for the severe weather threats, and well, that's what we're gonna look at. So let's go ahead. I've already taken a look at how far out I need to look for, so let's go ahead and get right into this. So this is about 3 p.m. Monday. And if you take a look here at your dew points, you have a wide open warm sector here for much of central Texas all the way into eastern Texas, parts of southern into northeastern Oklahoma, maybe eastern Oklahoma, portions of Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Kentucky, Alabama. Widespread area here of 60 dew points. So if we take a look at the 500 millibar winds, you can see they are a little bit and this could definitely dampen the severe weather threat here. You got pockets that don't really have any, and in 30, 35, 30, 33, 30 knots. If we take this out, that just gets eradicated here. So the chances of severe weather don't seem the highest with this kind of a lack of troughing really going on, because look how quickly that just gets eradicated here. Maybe something can happen here in southern Texas. That seems like the most likely spot for any kind of severe weather right now, just based off that 500 millibar winds. we'll take a look at the 850 millibar winds here. These are your winds closer down to the surface. If my PC would load, no, we can look at it anyway. So 15 knots, this isn't impressive at all. I want, the wind speeds up here of 30 to 35 or higher at the surface when you're talking, especially from a storm chasing perspective. Something like this doesn't really pique my interest at all. If we look at Cape, we do have instability. Not a lot of capping. Do have some good shear here, 32 knots of wind shear. So let's go ahead and take a look at a sounding here in eastern Texas. It's severe sounding, not a good photograph. Wind profiles, bleh. Again though, not a lot of capping going on. Let's pull one here in Oklahoma. 1600 Cape. What was that? 30 knots of shear, but not very impressive here. I don't. Also should mention though, you shouldn't take a lot of stock into soundings this far out. I don't really like looking at forecasted soundings until the HRRR is in range, which again is in that magical 48-hour range. Overall, the severe weather threat for this isn't really there to me. But what I will go ahead and look at here is in the Midwest, because we could be talking some severe weather back in these same areas that just got hit last week. It's probably going to be the hotbed of severe weather all season. I don't think it's going to be the #1 hotspot. Once the plains gets going in April and into May, I think they're going to be the place to be if you're a storm chaser. But I think this area is going to see several chances throughout the entire year, more so than they have seen recently here of severe weather. You can see those dew points again, of almost 60 dew points make it up here into Iowa, into Michigan, Indiana. Again, they just keep kind of pushing forward here. Let's look at the 500 millibar winds here, and these are much better winds. Much better. Yeah, 45 knots here at the 500 millibar level. These are higher up in the atmosphere. 48 knots, 55 knots, 50 knots here in portions of Iowa. If we look at your surface winds, again, closer down to the surface, the better overlapping so far between dew points and your upper level winds and now your lower level winds definitely here are in this quadrant. You got an area here of 35 to potentially 40 knots in spots. So if we take a look here at this cape, we'll look at the most unstable cape, only because the GFS doesn't have mixed layer cape. That is definitely my preferred cape to look at. And again, in the same areas where you got overlapping here of all the winds, all the dew points, and all the cape, you don't have a lot of wind shear here. So that's gonna definitely keep your tornado potential lower. But we're still gonna pull a couple soundings here. We're gonna look at one here in Missouri. This is a basic severe sounding, not a very impressive looking sounding by any means. Let's pull one here, again, in the northern portions of Missouri here. We'll pull one for portions of Iowa, and we'll look at Michigan here as well. Again, got severe soundings, but nothing too crazy here. So now we'll pull one over here. Just a marginal severe, nothing too crazy. And then quickly that instability gets shoved away. Now it's only the southern portion. So let's look at, I'm all over the place right here. Alright, let's look here at the dew points again, just to get an idea. So even the dew points are quickly getting kind of shoved. At this point, this is about 5 p.m. Your threat's basically going to be confined right here to southern Missouri and into Arkansas. You got those 60-degree dew points. So, actually, let me change back to here. But again, you don't really have the wind speeds to go along with all the other ingredients. So you might have good lower level winds, which you don't. You're like right at the minimum. Plus you got this kind of ridge in place right here. If you look at the Cape, you can see definitely not really much in Missouri anymore, except for the southern portions. You do have some good instability here in portions of northern Arkansas. So we'll go ahead and pull a sounding here. I'm about to be done though with this video. You have a weak tornado sounding though, actually. Capping is there, but it's not super strong. That definitely could be broken. You got 1300 joules of mixed layer Cape with minus 43 CIN. That's pretty breakable. Any of these values of CIN are breakable as long as you have the troughing. The thing is though, I'm not sure that you really do. Again, you got this area here in southeastern Oklahoma of over 2,000 Cape, but just a severe sounding. Let's pull. I'm trying to see if I can find the 30 knot. There you go. Alright, let's pull here. This would be your most favorable environment that I've looked at yet. And it's just severe, not that good of a photograph, not that good of a wind profile. Capping is definitely stronger here. At the surface, it'd be hard to break, pretty easy to break at the rest of those though. So you'd probably get elevated hailmakers out of this, not much of a tornado threat. Let's pull Texas, because Texas is definitely the most interesting spot. It's the only area that really can keep any kind of winds in there. And even right now it's looking like, yeah, it's going to be a struggle to get anything going. They have the better looking wind profile for sure though. So this is something we'll continue to watch. However, at this point in time, it doesn't seem to be pretty too significant. So that's kind of all I got for you guys right now. Drop some likes on this video if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe, turn on notification bell so you never miss an upload from me. We are doing daily videos from now until June 1st for all of meteorological spring. So hope you guys enjoy the ride. I will see you guys tomorrow. Pieces.